I was impressed with that move you pulled. Bang.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's me, it's G, it's DMC, the undefeated, undisputed YouTube champion. That's right, it's the Maverick, Mark Daniels. And I'm here with the great Balls of Fire 2017 predictions. I say 2017 because who knows, this might be a yearly event, this might be a reoccurring event. Or maybe every year it'll be a different song. I don't know. But regardless, this is my predictions for the upcoming pay-per-view. Honestly, the match card on paper looks pretty good. Looks like it could be a good show, but my overall excitement is at a low. So honestly, if this pay-per-view is better than average, it'll exceed my expectations, and above that, could make me really enjoy this pay-per-view. So take that for what you will. We're going to start things off first with Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt loses, LOL. I mean, he is literally the opposite of John Cena. I mean, look at him. The guy loses all the time, loses every feud that he's ever in. Cena wins all the time, wins every feud he's ever in. Bray Wyatt, kind of a husky guy. John Cena, chills little stone. Complete opposites. But still, seriously, I think Bray Wyatt loses here. Seth Rollins wins. Goes on to bigger and better things. Whether or not that may be the Intercontinental title. I mean, because who else? Because honestly, we'll jump right to it. Miz versus Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. I think the Miz retains. He just won the title from Dean not too long ago. And Dean doesn't have a whole lot of momentum. I mean, granted, neither does the Miz. But I think you have the Miz hold on to the Intercontinental title. And maybe at SummerSlam, Seth Rollins or maybe Finn Balor can win the Intercontinental title. Maybe we'll get a multi-man Intercontinental title match. I guess we'll see. So next we have Enzo Amore versus Big Cass. This feud has been great so far. I love the turn that they've done so far with this. But honestly, I just don't see Enzo Amore. Like, part of me wants to think that they're going to have Enzo Amore win here with like a fluke, like roll-up win. Make Cass look silly, which might be a mistake in the long run. But then it would lead into another match at SummerSlam. But what this also could be is easily Big Cass beats Enzo Amore in the matter of minutes. Maybe even 5 minutes. 10 minutes tops. I don't see this match going on super long. You have Big Cass win in dominant fashion, and then Enzo Amore maybe gets beat down after the match. Because you can do this too. You get Enzo win the match, and then Big Cass beat him up afterwards, and then maybe the Big Show makes the save, even though he flat out said maybe he shouldn't be on Raw anymore. This can set up a Big Cass versus Big Show match at SummerSlam. Putting Big Cass over on the Big Show would be a good thing, in my opinion. It won't be a great match, but at least they'll get Cass something to do and give him something meaningful to do for SummerSlam. Next, we have the Cruiserweight Championship. Neville, the king of the Cruiserweights, versus the power of Tozawa. Akira Tozawa. I think Neville's going to win this match. By hook or by crook, I think Neville wins this match, and this will set up a rematch at SummerSlam. I do think Akira will win the title because ultimately, who else would there be? I mean, Austin Aries just got released or asked for his release from the WWE. And there's really no one else in the Cruiserweight division with as much momentum as Akira Tozawa. The only other person I can think of is maybe Mustafa Ali. But I don't know if he has enough momentum to really carry him as a believable contender against Neville right now. Because Neville's been on absolute fire. Ever since his turn, Neville has been on absolute fire. I'm a big Neville fan. I like Akira Tozawa too. And I think as of right now, if anyone on the division is going to take the title from Neville, it's got to be Akira Tozawa. Unless they bring somebody up. Unless maybe they move Kalisto to the Cruiserweight division finally. I don't know why he's not in there to begin with. Even though I don't think he has that much momentum. But I think it'd be a good match. Or maybe Hideo Itami if they bring him up from NXT to the Cruiserweight division. But right now, I'm going to say Neville keeps the title. And then that'll build into a match in the SummerSlam. Now, I do think that at Great Balls of Fire, they might do something interesting to kind of hype up SummerSlam. And I think that's going to be in the main event. We'll talk about that here in a second. I already talked about Miz and Ambrose. I think Miz is going to retain. We have Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. I do think Sasha Banks will probably be the one to take the title belt off Alexa Bliss. But again, I think Alexa Bliss retains here. This is kind of a B show, maybe even a C show, pay-per-view. Like I said, I don't expect this to be a big show or something. I think something major is going to happen just to hype up SummerSlam. But I don't expect there to be a whole lot of things happening just because you got SummerSlam coming up in a month, less than a month, because we have this pay-per-view coming up. We have Battleground, and then we have SummerSlam. So I think that maybe you do something. You stay the flow. You go with the standard quo, and you keep things about the same. And then at SummerSlam, we might see some more major changes to kind of hype up that pay per view. It is obviously one of the more major pay per views throughout the year. And then we have the 30-minute Iron Man tag team title match: Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Hardy Boys. I think this could be a really good match. Could be match of the night, honestly. So could Akira Tozawa and Neville. Rollins and Wyatt, Enzo and Cass. I don't think so. I mean, it could, but I just don't see it happening. Alexa versus Sasha could be a very solid match, but I think Dean versus The Miz could be a good match too. They've had good matches in the past, but I do think that Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Hardy Boys, with the stipulation of a 30-minute Iron Man tag team match, could build up a lot of drama. And honestly, I think Cesaro and Sheamus retain. You know, I was thinking about it for a while. This one I was kind of on the fence about because they could go a whole lot of different directions here, right? They could do a draw, a time limit draw, so you can have another match. Because I think that this is not their last match. And arguably, if the Hardy Boys win, Cesaro and Sheamus would get a rematch, and they could do that at SummerSlam. So it's very possible. But I think Cesaro and Sheamus win here. But what they could do, I think they're going to walk out the titles. What they could do is a time limit draw where the Hardy Boys, there's like 5 seconds left on the clock. They hit the twist of fate swanton bomb. 1, 2, time's out. They're about to win the titles. Time goes out. The Hardy Boys are highly disappointed. The crowd's kind of like, what the fuck? What do we do now? And then that goes into the SummerSlam match. Or you have Cesaro and Sheamus win, and I think that's how they do it. I think the better way to do it. I think that's the best way to do it personally. I do think that's the way to do it. But I think Cesaro and Sheamus either way walk out the tag team titles. Then we have Roman Reigns versus Braun in a ambulance match. This should be a good match too. This will be very hard hitting. This will not be a technical masterpiece. This is not going to be Okada versus Omega. This is going to be a brawl. And I'm actually I said I was really excited for this pay-per-view, and I'm not. Like, my excitement's pretty low, but I am interested to see what happens in this match. I enjoyed Braun Strowman. He's in my top 5. My top 5, sucker, as Booker T would say. He's in my top 5 for sure of guys in WWE right now that I really enjoy watching. And when he was gone, I missed him. It's weird to say. It's weird to think that, you see this guy named Braun Strowman when, the path he was going when he was in the Wyatt family, that he would be, such a great, superstar. I don't want to say wrestler, although he's not bad. I mean, his match with Big Show is really good and has some technical aspects to it. But you just don't think that this guy would be that exciting to watch, and he's great. He's doing his role perfectly. I fully expect the crowd to be behind Braun Strowman here and to be booing the hell out of Roman Reigns. But ultimately, I think the big dog, and this is his yard, he ends up winning this match, which sucks. Braun just came back, but Braun has been getting the upper hand on Roman Reigns. They've really built this into making it look like Roman Reigns is going to lose, which ultimately makes me think he's going to win, right? So I think Roman Reigns wins this match, which sucks. And I don't know what's next for Braun Strowman at SummerSlam. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know what's next for Braun Strowman. I would like to see him win, right? This is what I would like to see happen. I would like to see Braun Strowman win because people wouldn't expect that. I would like to see Samoa Joe win because people wouldn't expect that. And then I would like to see this end up being a fatal 4-way match for the title because Roman Reigns, he said, the authority figures didn't quite say this, but I think him saying that he's going to wrestle for the title at SummerSlam is set in stone. He's going to the main event at SummerSlam. He is going for the Universal title regardless of what happens here. So what happens is Brock Lesnar gets a rematch, so he would be in that match. Samoa Joe would be champion, so he would be in that match. And then Braun Strowman, who beat Roman Reigns, the guy that's going for the title, would also be added to the title. And I think it would be a big match. It would be a big match for SummerSlam. And it'd be a great way to get the Braun Strowman versus Brock tease in there because I think there's definitely money in a Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman match somewhere down the line, maybe a Survivor Series, maybe at the Royal Rumble. Just because I don't think Brock, after SummerSlam, I don't think he's going to be on TV too much. He kind of come and goes for the big shows. And I think you get the title off him, and we'll talk about that now. You get the title off him for Samoa Joe, which is my prediction. I think Samoa Joe's going to win. I know that to me, he's probably the underdog in this match by far because the plan is Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. But I don't know. You can do a fatal 4-way match here, and this could still lead into that WrestleMania match between Roman Reigns and between Brock Lesnar. Because here's the thing. I don't know what they would do with Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman. Do you have these two guys face each other at SummerSlam? You could. Otherwise, what are they going to be doing? Are they going to be added? Is Samoa Joe or Braun Strowman going to be added to an Intercontinental 5-way? You know, are they going to become a tag team? I don't know what's next for these two guys. There's really nothing for them to do. There's not enough baby faces. And another reason why I didn't say this in the tag team title match, and I forgot to mention this, there's no other babyface tag teams out there, right? You know, they broke up Enzo and Cass. Goldust and R-Truth are broken up. There's nobody. There's no other babyface tag teams on the roster unless they decide to pair up like, and I don't even know if they're babyfaces. I feel like they are. But they're not really treated as babyface. I mean, they're kind of in the middle right now. And that's Titus O'Neil, Akira Tozawa, and Apollo Crews. That whole Titus Worldwide thing, maybe two of those guys could go for the tag titles, whether it's Titus and Apollo or Akira and Apollo or even Akira and Titus. I don't know what's going on with those guys. I don't know what's going on with any of these guys. You know, it's weird. And Finn Balor's not even on the card. I don't know what's going on with Finn Balor. What is he doing? You know, is he going to be on the pre-show versus Elias Sampson? Because they're kind of in a feud right now. I don't know. But I think that if you do this Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam, it could be elimination. It could be a one pinfall wins it all. However you want to do it. But it would be a big match for SummerSlam, a really big match. It'd be exciting to watch, and you get all these guys involved in the main event picture that you seem to want to be involved in this main event picture. All these guys have beef. Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns have unfinished business. They do. Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe are currently in a feud. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns have unfinished business. Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar have some sort of business going on too. You know, after, I believe, I could be wrong on this, but my memory tells me that after WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar wanted to fight Braun Strowman. Am I wrong in thinking that? I'm pretty sure that happened. Now, it's hard to think about because there's just so much wrestling going on. And that was even just a few months ago, but it feels like forever ago now. I'm pretty sure after WrestleMania, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar said they wanted a piece of Braun Strowman. I think. Or was it they wanted a piece of Roman after he ended the Undertaker streak and then Braun came out? I can't remember. I just remember there was an interaction between Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman at some point, and that they have unfinished business too. So there's a lot you can do with this. And then this Fatal 4-Way, if you do the Fatal 4-Way, you can still do the Roman and Brock fight at WrestleMania. It would still be somewhat fresh, and it'd be definitely something you can do in the future. I like to see Samoa Joe. He's been on fire. I think that he's gotten to a place that WWE wasn't quite expecting. They seem to be pushing for him pretty hard here. This is a big match. This is a dream match between Samoa Joe and Brock to a lot of people. Not to everybody, but to a lot of people. And I would like to see Samoa Joe win, you know, because otherwise, what are they going to do with him? You know, that's the main thing. With Braun Strowman, too, what do you do with Braun Strowman? If Roman Reigns is going for the title at SummerSlam, what's next for Braun Strowman unless he costs Roman Reigns the title because he's not finished with him yet? And is that how you want to end SummerSlam? One of your bigger pay-per-views of the year with Brock Lesnar winning barely by the skin of his teeth with the help of Braun Strowman? No, that's not something you want to do. Or Braun Strowman come down there and take them both out, I guess. I don't know. But I feel like you could do this Fatal 4-Way match. I think it'd be pretty exciting. But anyways, guys, that's my predictions. I'm gonna speed through my predictions one more time since I talked a lot in between a lot of them. And I want to know in the comment section below what your predictions are. What would you guys like to see, you know, in this pay-per-view? Are you guys excited for it? Are you guys not excited for it? Are you kind of on the fence with like I am, where, you know, I love wrestling. So anytime a big event comes up, there's a little bit of excitement. But as far as this particular brand, I'm not a big Raw fan as of lately. Although, granted, the last few weeks have been pretty good, I think. Especially when you have like the Enzo and Cass stuff going on, Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar doing their thing. And then Braun Strowman come back helps immensely, in my opinion. But this card looks pretty good, so I think we could be having a good show here. But anyways, rapid fire through my predictions. I got Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. I have Seth Rollins winning. Enzo versus Big Cass. I have Big Cass winning. We have Neville versus Akira Tozawa. I have Neville winning. We have The Miz versus Dean Ambrose. I have The Miz winning. Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. I have Alexa Bliss winning. We have Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Hardy Boys in a 30-minute Iron Man tag team match for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. That's a mouthful. I have Cesaro and Sheamus retaining. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in an ambulance match. I have Roman Reigns winning. And then, of course, for the Universal title, Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. And I'm going on a huge limb here and saying Samoa Joe is going to win. But anyways, guys, that's my predictions for Great Balls of Fire. Let me know, like I said, in the comments section below what you guys think. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. Until next time, guys, I am the Maverick Mark Daniels. Bidding you a farewell, peace, and one love.